fly. Niggas always dummy, waiting from the empty slide. Change.
Welcome back to the channel, guys. Tommy here with Sinister Productions, bringing you guys another vlog. I hope all of you guys are staying at home safe and out of public, and trying to help quarantine this thing. I know a lot of you are on lockdown right now. Virginia is not on lockdown, but I had some family issues that's going on over the last couple days, so I did take a couple days off. So while I am waiting to hear news on some of the family's things, I am actually going to go ahead and install one of the parts that I got for my 92 Skyline GTST. These parts are actually famous for going bad. When I first bought this car, everything looked amazing. I did tell you guys one of the only issues that I actually had with it was the transmission leaking, but we solved that, not a big deal. There was just a little O-ring where the speed sensor, well, one of the speed cables went into the transmission, like a speedo sensor. That just needed to be sealed up. That is all good now. The only other issue that the car had were the tension rods. So on a Nissan Skyline, but Nissan Skylines, sorry, almost dropped that, have these what they're called tension rods, tension arms, and they tend to go bad. So I did get a used one because they're actually really hard to find, and I didn't want to go adjustable on this because, again, only thing adjustable that I did was the suspension with the coilover setup with the Fortune Auto coilovers, for the simple fact that this is eventually going to be the wife's car, so I don't want to overdo this car. I will be getting a GTR in the future. This is essentially my car until I go to get that GTR, and then this is going to be my wife's car. So forward thinking, I'm literally just setting this up to be my wife's car. I'm not doing a lot of things to it on purpose, just because I don't want to overdo the car to where she doesn't like it and doesn't enjoy the drive or ride. So as far as suspension parts goes, coilovers is going to be it as far as just adjustability. But these tension arms, these bushings blow out. This thing has bushings and they dry rot and crack. The bushings on this car were horrible. Like, the only thing on the entire car that was really bad were the tension arm bushings on both sides are completely blown out. Thanks to jpsparts.com and Japanese Classics, where I actually purchased the car from. Boom. They had one set of tension arms for a R32 GTST used, with not blown out bushings that are still nice and tight. I don't mind using used parts because if they're in good shape, there's no reason not to, honestly. And they're not worn out, so I mean, everything is still really nice and tight in the centers. There's no movement like it's supposed to be. So like I said, guys, I picked up those from JPS, I keep forgetting the damn name of it, Japan Parts, jpsparts.com. And so we're gonna go ahead and install those on this car today. This video, we're gonna install those tension arms, and yeah, let's get this car jacked up and let's get to it. All right, so this is where the main bolt goes, right here, guys, on these tension arms. Essentially, hang on, I'm trying to find the bolt that came out of it. I don't know what to do with it now. Oh, here it is. So this is the bolt that comes out. Both of these are 17 millimeter. So the best thing to do, I mean, you can see how busted and leaking, actually you can't. You can see how busted and leaking those things are. So essentially, 17 millimeter impact. I actually had to use a breaker bar because this is a battery powered impact, so it's not as strong. You take a 17 millimeter wrench, put it on the back side on the nut, and then literally, break that loose, and then it zips right off. And you got two 17 millimeter nuts under here. If I can find it with the camera. There we go. Those 17 millimeter nuts right there, or bolts. where the studs go through. Hang on to those because you're going to need to reuse those in most cases. Pretty simple installation or removal. I'm going to go ahead and get this one out, finish getting this one out, and then I will show you guys the comparison. All right, so this is going to be the comparison between, let me get my batteries out of the way. This is the new one, well, new-ish to me one. This is the old one. I am seeing a little bit of difference. So this one that I just picked up is a little bit beefier than this arm that was originally on the car. According to Japanese Classics or JapanParts.com, this is actually, I mean, you can see how, I mean, look at that. That is horrible. That's the original one. That's all cracked up and destroyed basically, and it's leaking and all kinds of shit. So that's the new one. I'm gonna clean that up a little bit, wipe it down really good. Kind of glad this one's a little bit beefier. I went with the non-adjustable because, you know, like I said, this is eventually gonna be my wife's car. I don't want this car to ride any rougher than it already does. The only thing as far as suspension goes that I'm gonna do to the car, like I said, is the Fortunato coilovers, and I probably will eventually do like a strut bar front and rear, just to kind of stiffen up the side to side a little bit. But besides that, that's going to be all the suspension work I do to this car. So I'm going to clean up this new tension arm up a little bit, and I'm going to go ahead and reinstall that back in the car. All right, now that I've got those out, I'm going to go ahead and reinstall this arm, or install this new arm right where it goes. So might actually get in there and clean, wipe that down a little bit while I'm in there, just as to not have any leaking oil, because these bushings have been leaking for quite a while. So all right, so that is that side all done. So it goes in from the top on this arm here, goes straight, this two studs go straight through this arm to the bottom here. And you just put the nuts back on. Pretty simple. Not a big deal at all. You don't have to worry about the control arm dropping or anything. I know some of the concerns were essentially having weight on the control arm and the brake setup and everything. And if this drops and breaks loose, sometimes you can't always get it back aligned. That is not the case with these arms. Like I said, very simple replacement. So, all right, we're gonna move to the other side, throw the wheel back on, and my light just died. Boom, backups. So we're gonna go ahead and switch to the other side. I'm gonna throw the wheel back on, and yeah, we'll go from there. All right, so just as you guys can see, this one is just as bad as the other side, if not worse, as far as leaking goes. So they definitely need to be replaced. Yep. All right, let's compare the two sides. All right, so this is the other side. You can see how cracked up that is. I mean, and it's leaking. I mean, it's wet as crap right there. It's got cracks all through it, just like the other one is. The other one is not leaking as bad as this. Well, actually, yeah, both of them are leaking pretty damn bad. And this side again is all cracked up and everything too. I don't really feel a whole lot of play in them, but that one's got a little bit more play in it, but you know, it is what it is. But here we go, here's the other one, the one that's not cracked up. I'm gonna throw this one on the other side. Again, this is beefier than both of these, so that's good. I'm kind of glad. I don't know what they changed or what year this came off of. Apparently this did come off of GTST also. So I don't know what the difference is as far as years go. You know, these actually may be off of an S13 or something like that, because it's all the same suspension underneath for the GTST and the S13. You know, so we'll see. All right, guys, I'm gonna throw this on there, button her up. All right, again, so I'm just gonna wipe this stuff down so that way I don't have any issues. All right, so when installing the new one, you essentially gotta go to obviously reverse order. So the studs go to the top. Obviously, you gotta put that in there. Boom. So the easiest thing to do while they got the studs in is to make sure you can get. So you might have to beat it a little bit to get the bolt through. Not a big deal. Doesn't mess the threads up or anything like that. Then you make sure you go over the arm here and you know, have the tension arm go over the lower control arm, so that way the studs go into the bottom of it. Go through the bottom. You just kind of reach under. You thread your nuts on. I'm using the same nuts that actually came off this instead of the new ones, just because there's nothing wrong with them, so no point in changing them out, really. If I can get the nuts started, it'll be nice. There we go. Then I'm just going to zip them on. Make sure they're good and tight. And of course, you do not forget the nut on the inside, because that would be bad, bad juju. Essentially, you screw that on. Boom. Make sure that's on tighten, where I can just zip this other one on. Hold the wrench, obviously, so it doesn't fall off. And bam, there she goes. Of course, you do want to like kind of go in here, just make sure everything's nice and snug. Yep, everything's good and tight. And there you have it. There you have it. Very simple tension arm replacement. Yep, and time to throw the wheel back on. I actually really need to get some new rotors, some pads. This thing's got some surface rust on that's not coming off, but it's just creating a little bit of shuddering while slowing down. So I still need to do that. Might just throw some brake clean on them just for now, just so I don't get all the oils and shit off of them. Should probably move my tools out of the way before I did that, but whatever, it's all right. Not gonna hurt them. But all right, throw the wheel back on, get our jack stands out from under it, and we're basically almost done. These wheels are extremely light, by the way. Extremely light. Compared to me I'm used to lifting like really, really heavy Mustang wheels. These things are gravy compared to those. Sorry for the music in the background. Kind of jamming out. I'm not monetized yet, so it doesn't really matter if I have music on my videos or not. Oh shit, 7 Dust. My jam. Woo! Too fast, too fast. All right, time to move on to get the jack stands out. Got to get my nuts off the floor. Ha. My very large breaker bar. Start detecting it. All right, take the glove off, and got my extra 2 nuts. So I do have. Let me turn the music down a little bit. I do have a drawer where I keep all the extra hardware from the Skyline that I have. Catalytic converter gasket. This is actually a very hard gasket to get. That's for the automatic transmission, where it bolts to the tail shaft, because I thought that that's what was leaking when I saw the transmission leak. So I ordered it. It's like 26 bucks from Terra Firma. They were actually able to source it for me and get it. That place is amazing, by the way. And then of course, extra gasket for the exhaust, vacuum line, random Skyline hardware. So I never throw any of that hardware stuff away, because God knows it's hard to source parts for these cars. I'm sure you can get stuff from like Terra Firma and things like that. Like I said, they've been really good about getting stuff, but it's not a bad thing to have nuts and bolts and random things on tap. I mean, hell, I kept the stock speakers out of the Sky. Ooh, ha! These are the stock speakers that actually came out of the Skyline. You can see how busted those are. And factory radios that still work. Factory tape deck and factory CD player. So I kept all that stuff. You know, that's what I replaced it with. The Kenwood touchscreen Echelon. DVD touchscreen. It's got Bluetooth, you know, Google Play, and or not Google Play. What was that? Whatever the iPhone is, and the Google Play and all that stuff. And then of course I did speakers. I know some of you guys probably have a question about speakers for doors and stuff like that, and for the back deck. I can't remember which ones are which. These are all flush mount Kenwood speakers that I went with. But we will go over that at another time. I think these are 5 1/4 for those, and then these are 6 1/2. So I think the 5 1/4 went in the doors. I'm not positive, but and then of course I did keep all the factory suspension, factory shocks and struts off the car as well. So, all right. I think that is going to do it for this vlog. I really appreciate you guys watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit the bell, guys. I'm still kind of uncertain whether I'm going to keep doing Skyline content on this channel or not. I haven't decided yet, because it doesn't look like I'm getting a whole lot of hits. I know it's going to take some time for the transition, because I am doing Mustang stuff and Skyline stuff. Lately, I've just been doing a lot more Skyline stuff, because that needs more work than the Mustang does. So, with that said, really hope you guys subscribe. Go ahead and like, thumbs up, hit the bell. See you guys in the next one. Later.
Everybody wanna play me, everybody wanna change me. Nobody ever gon' phase me. No fake accounts like KD. Doing the shit that I want to. Nobody I'll ever run to.
Dressed like a motherfucking god when I reach the spot.